What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be talking about the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. So, let's get into it. Now, earlier this week, we covered this week's forecast and seeing what was going on and all of that. Now, for this video, I want to focus in specifically on the solar eclipse occurring in Sagittarius. Now, many of us, we've been here before. We know it's eclipse season. But if you don't know, eclipse season or eclipses are times physically when, like for this one, where the sun is gonna darken the moon. Okay, so in certain instances you'll see a red moon depending on where you are. Energetically, spiritually, what this means for us, what this energy is translating to, is a reset, a karmic reset in time and in cycles. I always remind people, astrology is the study of the planetary cycles and their effects on human action and events. Okay, so, and also, if you want to know more about that, feel free to check out my book, Astrology of the Matrix. Click the link down low, send me an email, and get yourself a copy. But the cycle, so when eclipse season comes around, it presents the time where we're going into a new cycle. So this lining up with an eclipse here in Sagittarius on the south node sign, on the south node side, is rather significant. And then the next significant thing about this new cycle is that the ruler, Jupiter, is in the sign of Aquarius. And as I've been hinting to you guys, Aquarius is this futuristic energy. It's an energy of technology, of, of innovation, being ahead of its time. So in a personal sense, in the sense of programming the reality, this energy is telling you to look there. See yourself in your future essence. You know, I've been getting a lot of questions about how do you do all that you do and still found time to discipline yourself to write the book. And a large portion of it, y'all, is visualization. I tell you, I meditate, and my biggest hope is that within your astrological practices or any spiritual practice, you incorporate meditation because it allows you to get away from this world, right? You don't need to meditate with your eyes closed, but when you do, it amplifies everything because you're shutting this system off. Okay, so I see this eclipse as it's a weird time. There can be many of you from this eclipse and then the previous partial one, maybe emotionally you feel off, or physically, right? Say you're a Pisces, say you're a Virgo, and you're receiving, a sun square sun or other energies being squared. This is part of your reset, is releasing that energy. So you might be feeling out of it or emotionally really needing to deal with something intensely, or it's coming across intensely, so you recognize it. So this thing is working, okay? But it's Sag energy. And then bringing back to Sag energy, it's about aspiring, okay? It's about believing, having faith, partaking, like having a plan or executing the plan. But it's a new moon, so it's not like we're in the mode of doing. But you want to develop your mind state to this place that you can. And it leads back to what I've been harping on these last few weeks. And it started with the Sun square Jupiter aspect. Do you really believe? Are your actions matching your verbiage? And I tell my students this all the time. As a way to keep myself accountable. There's no way I could do what I do, talk how I talk, if I didn't back it up. And to me, that's Sag. It's even more important for me because I'm a Gemini, right? But this is the energy we all need to tap into right now at the moment. Do I believe? And how do I show I believe? How do I reinforce that? Because spiritual journey is weird. It's weird. The more amplified it gets, the more conscious you become, the more you start to see that shadow, you may want to retreat from it. But remember about shadows. When the closer you get to it, what happens? The smaller it goes. So you can't like run away from running away from it. It's gonna make it bigger. But this here, like I said, we're looking ahead. We want to see what houses is occurring for us and how we can live our truth more. So let's jump into some aspects about this, okay? Sun and Moon conjunct, which is really presenting the opportunity to get our conscious and subconscious minds in alignment and aspire towards something going forward. Being that this is mutable fire, there has to be a layer of flexibility here. And we know that Venus will be going retrograde, conjuncting Pluto and then going retrograde. So there's going to be a reworking, a refinement going on there. And that, for many of us, depending on what house this is for you, particularly, let's say, it really depends on what's in your chart, but 4, 8, 12, you could find yourself going back to or rediscovering something, okay? So in one regard, there is the need to really get behind your truth, really align with it, be flexible, be open to learning more. But then the fire aspect is action. And, I believe this can work both ways, but Neptune's now direct. So in essence, the time for like observing to a certain extent is over. Now it's time to like put it into action. Live it. Live the dream. So you're going to invoke some action into this cycle these next few months regarding those goals. So we're focused on living the truth. We're focused on putting the action behind the truth. So then we see these queen conjunctions from Sun and Moon to Uranus in Taurus. Very interesting here. We can look at this as just damn annoying, or like, this doesn't work. Because essentially, remember, queen conjunctions are this thing doesn't match up. And in the case of Taurus and Sag, it's literally wanting to have your cake and eat it too. Seems like it kind of matches up, but it's kind of like this. Sag, remember, South Node is here too, so there's something old. There's an old philosophy. There's an old way of relating. It's naturally ingrained in you, right? It's like really trying to tell a particular type of person that, hypothetically, the Bible is just hogwash. There's no validity in it. I'm just saying hypothetically. I don't mean that. But just trying to tell someone that it's a deep program. Even if you come with good facts, right? This is the new thing, and Taurus and Uranus are representing. These are the new values. This is astrology. And the person's like, oh, all of this does seem appealing, right? So you're trying to go towards the new reality, the new age things, the new liberating things, but whatever it is represented in the Sag and those old ideologies of ingrained beliefs is the tug of war. Now, just to clarify, this can even be like a self-confidence thing, right? So say someone goes out there, gets their new body done, and they're like, yo, once I get this new body, it's a wrap. I'm taking the world by storm. Then they get the new body, and then internally, they're still themselves. They're still relating in a particular type of way, which is producing a particular type of result. All right. So this queen conjunct is the necessary tension needed over this time period. It's necessary tension. It's like like a seesaw to some extent, trying to figure it out. But I can tell you this: it's like I've learned to, in certain instances, because everything's balanced, but sometimes balance means embodying one aspect and then letting the chips fall on the other side, or letting it naturally come. So what I mean by this is, in the sense of this sun and moon Queen conjunction Uranus, and that natural tension, and thing that seems like I just can't get them all on the same page, I would say embody Sag. Embody Sag, not in the sense of the old ideologies, but in the sense that you're moving in the right direction. Even if, like, that's the energy needed to conquer your fear and to actually do the work and live the truth. So I would tell you, like, lean towards that in the understanding of what the Taurus energy is representing. And yeah. Now, for some, and then this is where judgment comes in, because suppose you really in that you've really been in the Sagittarius mode, right? In the sense of overconfidence and not really putting in the work. Well, then maybe the Taurus on the other side would mean a little bit more consistency within your actions. So really important to see how that interaction is working within your chart. Then you're going to want to look at, or I rather should say, learn to expect the unexpected, because this is Uranus, uh, Mars in here in Scorpio, eventually going to pass this point of where the new moon is occurring, and it will also have its interactions with uh, Uranus, and then Sun and Mercury, Sun, all of them will be then heading for squares with Neptune. So, okay, how this is translating is like expecting unexpected, but don't don't fall so deep into your stories or illusions that you lose grip upon what it is that you value, or why you're doing what you're doing. And then I hinted at this in the previous video with group influence being negative or out of alignment with your energy, and kind of really forcing you to go back and, do I believe in what I'm doing, or does this little bit of influence or limitation, will it deter me? So the unexpected, man, if you guys can see how I see it, but I think you will understand. So this is like the key, right? You get this word that, okay, expect the unexpected, and then boom, the unexpected happens. In actuality, guys, you don't realize it, but your awareness, your little aware, you're still gonna feel what you feel in the moment, but your a little awareness of knowing that was coming is holding you and making you like, okay, let me not completely lose my shit. So that's the benefit of the conscious journey, right? It's not that, like, I'm gonna know this to avoid it completely. It's just like, wow, this happened. It's everything that I was going through is actually preparing me for this. All of this is Sag. And then, so yeah, expect the unexpected. And then in those moments, I tell you, anybody who has been somewhere and reached some real success knows that, like, I went here down to rise back up, ebb and flow of life. Okay, so then we have Sun, Moon, sextile, and Saturn. Saturn still holding, a square with Uranus, which is going to get close and be exact and come in time. So the key here is consistency. It is adding the work to the word. Okay, uh, seeing yourself as a business, being business oriented, having the stamina to withstand the race that you're running. And then Venus's influence in Capricorn is also going to add to this. So there's a energy of patience here. Patience, like knowing what you want in the future, planning it out, doing what is necessary to get there, but having the patience to stay consistent with it. So, in all honesty, I feel like this is going to be a very, very productive cycle next few months, but it's going to have its natural hiccups, which we've been through the pandemic. So we got to always keep in mind, like, shit could get real at any point. But, your knowledge is your godlike. Okay? So, y'all, it's my interpretation of this new moon solar eclipse. Feel free to chime in. Let me know what's going on. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. All right. If you need a reading, click the description link. Check out my website. Send me an email. We'll set something up. And my book is available too. So until next time, peace.